I'm gonna show you guys exactly how I made my first $100,000 profit by the time I turned just 18 years old. Now with this story, I'm gonna take it back all the way from when I was working, my 9-to-5 job at Starbucks, and I was still going to high school. And this is something that, you could probably relate to as well, whether you're in school or whether you're working a 9-to-5 job. And in this video, I simply just want to explain my timeline from when I started working at Starbucks before I got into all this business stuff to basically being 18 years old, right when I moved out to Miami. So when I got the job at Starbucks, I was just 16 years old. I truly didn't have a lot of money in my bank. I had probably roughly around like $5,000 or $6,000, which honestly is pretty good, but eventually I kind of lost this stuff. I started in the stock market a little bit and I pretty much lost all that money, and this is when I got a job at Starbucks. Everyone was telling me that I needed to go to college, right? I was 16 years old. I knew that I needed to make some type of money elsewhere, and this is when I got started doing Instagram theme pages. Now, the first mentor that I ever paid, I paid him around $750 for this mentorship, and he basically just taught me how to do sponsorships, how to run a business Instagram theme page. So during that whole time, I was just shouting out other entrepreneurs that were doing Amazon FBA, even drop shipping and everything like that, and I was making money. It was like $80 to $100 every single post that I was doing. And honestly, at this time of investing $750 to my first mentor, it really taught me a valuable lesson that if I invest in myself and I learned from others and the people that actually knew what they were talking about, I knew that I could cut my learning curve and to really become successful. So when figuring this out, I paid another $1,000 for another mentor, and this is when I really started increasing my whole Instagram theme page business. I wasn't making too much money, but I was making around $200 a week. It wasn't that much, obviously now, but back then I was really only making like $600 to $700 in Starbucks every 2 weeks. So this was basically almost replacing my job income. But at this point, I knew that I needed to get something more because I knew that I couldn't, come out and survive off, $600 every week. So what I did was I actually came in and invested the rest of the money that I had into a mentor for e-commerce. The mentor, his name's actually Jeremy. And if you guys haven't seen the podcast that I did with him on my channel, feel free, I'll put a link to the video right here and go check that out. But basically, I paid him around $3,000 to mentor me with e-commerce, and after around like 3 to 4 months of a lot of hard work, after learning everything, I had my first 6-figure store. It was a women's clothing store. So at this time, it was senior year. It was right in the beginning of 2020. After having, my first successful, 6-figure store, I knew that I could really take this seriously. It was my senior year. I didn't go back to school for second semester, so I had a lot of time on my hands to be able to start learning more about e-commerce. I was paying more mentors. I actually paid a total of another $15,000, and right when I graduated high school, I turned 18 years old, and then at this time I made roughly around $40,000 to $50,000 profit already for my e-commerce stores. Really heading into Q3 and Q4 is when things really started to get a lot better for me, and I started seeing a lot of success. I actually had a store in Q4 do over $500,000 in less than a month and a half. This was a very pivotal moment for me because at this time, right, I decided that I wasn't gonna do college anymore. I quit my job at Starbucks. It really was a do or die situation, but honestly, in order for me to really justify doing this full time, I needed to see some type of breakthrough. But at this time, I had around $130,000 in my bank account profit from just collectively everything. And by the way, this was after paying even more mentors, right? I didn't come in, learn, all the sauce to do these numbers. I was constantly investing, a 10K mentor here, another 10K mentor here. I paid roughly over $50,000 in mentors in just 2020 alone. And that really shows you that if you truly want to get to the level where you want to be at, you don't necessarily need to invest, into mentors or people, but life is truly a pay-to-play game. You either pay the price of time or you pay the price of money. For me, I wanted to pay the price of money and really say save myself a ton of time. And my number one tip is you truly need to invest in yourself. As I said earlier, you don't truly need to invest a ton of money in yourself. When I say invest in yourself, this doesn't mean, you know, paying other people, but it truly means becoming the best version of yourself, because you truly can't be making a ton of money or even just getting to the point of quitting your job or leaving college or whatever your goal is. You can't get to that point by not becoming that person that knows how to acquire these things and everything like that. And with that being said, I'll go ahead and I'll see you guys inside the next video. Yeah.